there are places in this world that make shivers run down your spine and make you wonder what may be hidden in the sometimes empty spaces. These places are creepy, haunted, and can be found in your hometown.
In Portugal sits a 16th century chapel, founded by the Franciscans of the Catholic Church. From the outside, the white and light gray stonework are a comforting sight to behold. Next door to the Igreja de São Francisco Church, one would expect to see stained glass windows, effigies of Christ and his followers, even artwork adorning the walls. However, as you step inside beneath the archway, an engraving is there to welcome you. We bones are here, waiting for yours. During the time of its creation, cemeteries were becoming overcrowded. To make way for new burials, older bodies were exhumed, and the bones were carted to the Capela where they were cast in cement and set into the very walls, arches, and pillars. The Franciscans hoped to bring visitor focus to the fragility of human life and the inevitability of death. A poem by Father Antonio de Ascencio gives a clear indication of this exact purpose. Where are you going in such a hurry, traveler? Pause. Do not advance your travel. You have no greater concern than this one, that on which you focus your sight. Recall how many have passed from this world. Reflect on your similar end. There is good reason to reflect, if only all did the same. Ponder, you so influenced by fate, among all the many concerns of the world, so little did you reflect on death. If, by chance, you glance at this place, stop, for the sake of your journey. The more you pause, the further on your journey you will be. The bones of 5,000 corpses decorate the walls, and tours are given daily to everyone from children to the elderly. As you come to the end of the journey, 2 final messages above the altar bid you farewell. I die in the light, and the day that I die is better than the day I was born. On Hall Road near Borley Church once sat a house with a well-documented haunted history that led to the building gaining the title Most Haunted House in England. In 1862, Borley Rectory was constructed for the Reverend Henry Dawson Ellis Bull, newly named rector to the church. The home replaced an earlier version that burned to the ground 21 years prior. Although the rector's 4 children claimed to see a sorrowful nun walking the grounds, as well as a ghostly coach and horses on the pathway, the hauntings were not documented until 1929, when the Reverend Eric Smith and his wife arrived at the rectory. Warned of the creepy history, they called upon the local newspaper and reported the happenings. Henry Price, a well-known psychic and paranormal investigator, was called to investigate the unexplained sights and sounds. His appearance set off a whirlwind of new activity, including the throwing of stones, vases, and other household objects. For more than a year, Mr. Price stayed at the home and documented the phenomenon. However, Mrs. Smith called his findings into question after his departure, when the increased activity suddenly ceased. Later that same year, however, the Smiths vacated the rectory, replaced by Lionel Foister and his wife and children. Due to poltergeist activity and their child being harmed, the family left the property and the church could find no more replacements. In 1938, Henry Price returned to the rectory after the newspaper reported the ongoing activity, and he rented the building. This time, he returned with trusted assistants to help carry out his work. In March of that year, the 49 inhabitants held a seance where a spirit communicated a message. The rectory would soon burn to the ground, and a nun's body would be discovered in the ruins. 11 months later, an oil lamp fell over in the hallway, and the building burned to rubble. During the fire, people claimed to see ghostly specters roaming the halls and a nun's face in the upper windows staring through the flames. In 1943, Mr. Price returned a final time and dug around in the cellars, trying to find evidence of the body the spirit warned him of. 2 bones were located among the debris. Believing that they belonged to a young woman, he hoped to end the hauntings by giving them to a Christian church for burial. However, to this day, people still claim to experience paranormal activity on the site where the house once stood. East of Johannesburg, South Africa, Kempton Park lies abandoned, slowly becoming a moldering ruin with peeling paint, broken glass, and rusting medical equipment. Opened in 1976, it was hailed as the best hospital in the region. However, just after a Christmas party in '96, the hospital was closed down without explanation. The government stated that it was due to the facility being understaffed, but a doctor later came forward and contradicted this statement. Numerous attempts were made throughout the years to bring the hospital back into working order, but each met a similar end, and the building was left to decay. Patient records as well as x-rays, jars of human organs, gurneys, dialysis machines, and even theater lights still litter the hallways, but thrill seekers as well as paranormal investigators still flock to the location to record the numerous accounts of spirit activity. Those who have entered have reported the sounds of babies crying, slamming doors, a shadow specter roaming the halls, and disembodied voices in EVP recordings. Located near Roundwood, County Wicklow, Ireland, is a privately owned 9-hectare meditation garden with lakes and forested areas. Adorning the park are statues from different religions and their figures, a fasting Buddha, as well as Shiva, Eve, and other Hindu deities. However, other statues of a darker nature join the peaceful in sharing a hallowed space. The Split Man statue symbolizes the mental and physical state of the dysfunctional, undecided human. The ferryman's end is reminiscent of the boatman who takes the souls from the shore of life to that of death, though in this, he takes them from death to their new life. Here he has stalled, having lost his plot and feels horrible. His craft is his plot for meaningful purpose. The Awakening is the first statue in the park, and can be interpreted a variety of ways. It's meant to depict the moment of awakening to a new reality or world. And finally, the Cobra Throne. In Egypt and India, the serpent represented the female principles of life, wisdom, and fertility. In the park, it has been given its own throne, known as the Wisdom Seat. It is always empty, signifying openness and limitlessness. You can sit on the throne and awaken to a new reality. Though closed during the winter months, it's open to adults every summer for a small donation. For everything strange, a nightclub in North Hollywood, California is the place to be. The California Institute of Abnormal Arts is renowned for underground music, performance art, movie screenings, sideshow acts, and a variety of macabre oddities and hoaxes, fascinating in origin. A Fiji mermaid, the skull of the world's smallest Freemason, the head of Sasquatch, the severed arm of Claude de Lorraine, and a fairy skeleton, as well as mummified midgets, a haunted painting, a monkey's paw, and a 2-headed baby that serves as a warning about the dangers of LSD. The most notable attraction to date is the well-preserved body of Achille, an American circus performer who died in 1912. After his death, he requested that his body be painted in his clown makeup and show attire, and then put on display. Because of this, the Institute gained the title of Best in LA in 2006. Owned by Carl Crew and Robert Ferguson, their friendship is just as strange as the place they created. In the 1980s, both men worked together as embalmers in a Los Angeles mortuary. The institute was opened in '94, sadly being shut down after selling alcohol without a license in '98. It reopened in 2001 with renewed glory to be enjoyed by those willing to step inside. And that's all the time we have left for this episode of Creepy and Haunted Places. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. And the next time you get the urge to set foot in a creepy or haunted place, don't forget to bring a candle.